Well, okay. Well, I got my little toy CNC slash laser machine put together and somewhat working. It's called a CNC 3018 Pro. So what that means is it's 30 centimeters by 18 centimeters work area. Okay, so it's pretty small. I bought it specifically for crib boards to drill the holes and to run the laser. This way I don't have to move the piece of wood. Currently right now I use my big CNC to cut it. Then I have to move it into my K40 laser. And then I got to make sure I realign it perfectly. I mean, if I'm at 1 millimeter, it messes everything up. This way, when I take the spindle out, put the laser in, the wood doesn't move and the spindles and lasers line up. So that was a big thing. Now this is a little smaller than I wanted, but it was a really good price. So what I'm going to do is I have a bunch of spare parts and stuff that I've had. So I'm actually going to take these rails off and I'm going to pretty much double them. And then I have different threaded or different rails from a previous project that I'm going to take and add those. And they're heavier because it's a greater distance. So you'll get more support. I'm also thinking about changing these to a little bit heavier for support. Don't know for sure because I want to put a bigger motor eventually on here, and you can see right here there's some play in there. So if I put a bigger motor, it's heavier, then you're working in heavier wood. There's a chance that this stuff is going to move. Okay, so there's a couple things I'm thinking about doing. I might when I rebuild, because I'll have to rebuild this. I might somehow tie into and get some of the wheels that go on these 20 by 20 rails, like your 3D printing wheels, and put the wheels on each side here and on here so that it'll run on the back of that, and then these will also be adding support to it. So we'll see if that works. I don't know if it'll work for sure, but that's one of my goals. Okay, anyway, so here's my laser module. This is a 5.5 kilowatt or 5500 watt a 5.5 watt laser, or they call it 5500 milliwatt laser. So I played around with a 500 milliwatt laser, so 10 times smaller than this, and I can burn wood with it. So I'm pretty sure this is going to work good. So tomorrow I'm going to play around with that. Now this unit came with an offline controller. Now it looks pretty cheap and Mickey Mouse, so that screen is really tiny, but it actually does work. So you have a choice. You can go to controller file. So if I went to file and I hit OK, it'll load, and there's nothing on the SD card. There's an SD card right there. There's nothing on there right now, but that will allow me to pick my G code. Okay. Now if I go back to here to control and hit OK, there's a whole bunch of stuff in here. It's hard to see, but you got your Z positive and negative. You got SP for 10%. So that's your speed of your spindle. Okay. And then you got your X minus, Y minus, and X plus and Y plus. And then there's 10 right here. That 10 shows the steps. There, 10 is right there. That shows the steps. And you can change that kind of things too. So if I click here, watch that 10. See how it went to 0.1? So now if I actually go to my, say, I'll do the X because it's closest to my thumb. I don't know if you can actually see it moving. It's such a small step. So I'm going to go back to here. I'm going to hit step, and it changes it to 1. So now you definitely should see it moving. And then if I go down here and I hit step again, it's on 5, and if I push and hold it, okay, and then if I hit step again, I can go 10, and I think that's 10 millimeters. I'm not 100% sure, so I'll have to do the measurement, and I have to calibrate this and everything. Okay, the other thing a guy can do is I can do the spindle. So I don't know if you'll be able to see that or not. You'll hear it for sure. Right now I have the spindle set on 10%. So if I turn this, so this middle button here turns the spindle on and off. Okay. And I'm hoping it's in the right direction. Okay. Now, in order to turn up the spindle, I got to use 2 hands, so that's the hard thing. So I'm just going to set this down for a bit. You hold the control button down and hit the Z plus, and then the spindle will go up. So now, whoops, oh, flipped it. I don't know why it did that. It says your spindle is now 50%. If you look right there, it's 50%. So now, when I hit the spindle, you'll hear it's a lot louder. Okay. Now this is a pretty cheap little motor. I really don't think the motor will do much. Again, it might drill the holes if I got a good drill bit and stuff. But again, that's all my plan. But if I put a bigger motor in it and stuff, this is going to be a pretty cool little CNC machine. Nice tabletop one. And it'll do most of the stuff that I wanted to do, especially with my crib board. So again, once I get upgrades, this is one of the big things I'm going to upgrade, is this plastic. There's not a ton of travel in here. I'm almost bottomed right out, so by the time I actually put in the wood and a bit, yeah, I'm gonna have to be way, whoops. Okay, that shouldn't have happened. That's one thing I don't like about this. This button here is it here, let me hit this one here. If you hold it on 10, it keeps going, right? So, and I don't like using limit switches. So hopefully these motors are pretty weak, so it's not going to break anything. It's just going to make that weird noise and stuff. So the bit will come down here. So I might be able to put 1 inch to 1.5 inches wood in here, which in reality you're probably not going any deeper than that anyway. So, but anyway, there you go. There is the CNC 3018 Pro, and tomorrow I'll have a video showing it working.